You can both remember the same argument honestly and still remember different events, because memory is rebuilt every time you retrieve it, then edited by what you hear afterward. Imagine this. You and a friend are standing in a kitchen when a glass hits the floor. You remember the glass being red. Your friend is certain it was blue. You remember they were angry before it fell. They remember you raising your voice first. A week later, both of you can replay the moment with total confidence. The strange part is that neither of you has to be lying. We talk about memory as if it were a recording. The event happens, the brain stores a file, and later you press play. But remembering is closer to rebuilding a scene from scattered pieces. You retrieve some details, infer others, and use the present to fill whatever the past no longer supplies. That makes memory useful and flexible. It also leaves the reconstruction open to editing. In 2003, psychologists Fiona Gabbert, Memon, and Kevin Allan designed an experiment that made this editing visible. 120 people watched a short film of a woman entering an empty university office, but pairs of witnesses did not actually see identical films. They watched the same event from different camera angles. From one angle, a witness could see the title of a book and a note being dropped into a bin. From the other, a witness could see the woman check her watch and take money from a wallet. Each person therefore possessed real details that the other person had never seen. Some witnesses recalled the event alone. Others discussed it with the person who had watched the other version. After a 45-minute delay, everyone gave an individual account and was told to report only what they personally remembered seeing. That instruction was not enough. Among witnesses who had discussed the film, 71% later reported at least one detail they had received from the other witness. In the control condition, where people recalled alone, none reported those unseen critical details. The conversation did more than add harmless decoration. Among people who never saw the theft, 60% came to say the woman was guilty after speaking with a witness who had seen her take the money. A detail from somebody else's viewpoint had crossed into their own account of reality. This number does not mean 71% of every memory becomes false, or that conversation always corrupts recall. It is the result of one controlled study using a specific simulated event. What it demonstrates is the mechanism. Information acquired after an event can become difficult to separate from information acquired during the event. The brain has to answer a source question. Did I see the red glass, hear someone mention it, imagine it while retelling the story, or infer it because red seems to fit? The content may remain while the label identifying its source fades. Once the detail feels familiar, familiarity can be mistaken for personal recollection. Social pressure can contribute too. If your friend speaks first and sounds certain, disagreeing can feel like accusing them of lying. You may accept their version because they seem better informed, because harmony feels easier, or simply because their words supply a vivid missing piece. Later, the social decision may no longer feel social. It may feel like a memory. This helps explain why two people can leave the same argument with incompatible stories. Each person saw the scene from a different emotional and physical angle. Each noticed different details. Then they replayed it, explained it, defended it, and heard the other person's version. Every replay was another reconstruction. Confidence does not solve the problem. Confidence tells you how convincing the reconstruction feels now. It does not give you a time-stamped receipt showing where every piece came from. A vivid memory can be accurate. It can also be a polished mixture of observation, inference, and later information. So what can you do when the details matter? First, record your account before comparing stories. Write down what you remember in your own words, including what you are uncertain about. This protects an independent version before somebody else's details become familiar. Second, separate observation from interpretation. The door slammed is an observation. They slammed it because they wanted to intimidate me is an interpretation. Both may matter, but they are not the same kind of claim. Third, use source labels. Say, I remember seeing this, I think you told me this, or I inferred this afterward. That small distinction makes the brain's source problem visible. And finally, treat disagreement as information, not instant proof that one person is dishonest. Different accounts can reveal which parts of the event were ambiguous, emotionally loaded, or learned later. Your memory is not broken because it changes. Reconstruction is part of how memory works. The danger begins when a reconstruction feels so complete that you mistake confidence for a recording. Before you compare stories, capture your own. Because once two memories start talking to each other, both can leave the conversation carrying details that were never originally theirs. Next, we move from a conversation that edits a memory to a doorway that can make an intention suddenly harder to retrieve.